Hello, guys. Welcome to the Palmist Baba UK channel. So, this is the part 3 of the continuous series on the signs of richness in palmistry. Today, we are going to discuss a not very common sign, not very common line, but actually, it's one of the very important line in the palmistry. So, this is called line of Mercury. Now, the important thing is that line of Mercury is not present for every human being. So, nearly 50% of the people do not have a line of Mercury. We also call it line of health, but don't get confused with the lifeline. Lifeline is the one which shows about how your health is going on, but having a good line of Mercury supplements a lot those signs which are present in the lifeline. Lifeline of Mercury also supports the fate line. A perfect line of Mercury, meaning having a deep and clear contour, is an asset. It gives energy, it boosts your physical and mental health, and also support your career choices. If you can see in the picture, the line of Mercury can start anywhere from the at the base of the palm and get directed towards the mount of Mercury here. Now, in an ideal situation, or the best case scenario, is that it's arising from the mount of Luna and going upward towards the mount of Mercury. So that is the best case scenario. Okay, so what are the different types of changes in the line of Mercury? Let's discuss a few things about the quality of line. Now, quality of line is very important because it determines how the effect of line of Mercury is going to happen on your physical and mental states. To be fair, I think it's very right to say that having a bad line of Mercury is worse than having no line of Mercury. Okay, so what are the different quality of lines? So deep and clear, as the name indicates, if you have a deep and very clear line of Mercury, that is the best case scenario which you can have. That means you got a great treasure of good health, both physical and mental. You got a good career opportunities. If this line is supported by a good lifeline and a very good fate line, and on top of that, if you got um, a line of Apollo as well, that is usually seen in the people who are uh, billionaire, who are extremely rich, like some of the huge tycoons in the industry and who had made a lot of a fortune in recent decades. Now, if you got a thin but clear line of Mercury, still it's not that bad. It still has some of the benefits of clarity of having a good quality line of Mercury and can give you the benefits of a good line of Mercury supporting your lifeline and the fate line. Now, if you got a broad and shallow line of Mercury, which is not very common in isolation, but if it is present, you will have some changes in the other lines as well. This is actually shows some of the weakness. So it will fluctuate in your health conditions, and usually you can see the life changes in the lifeline as well as you can see some of the changes in your lifeline and fate line too. So people who have a broad and shallow health lines, they should take care of their digestive system. What do they eat and how they manage their food? They can be having some problems with the gastrointestinal tract like digestion, etc. Now, some people have ladder line. So just like a ladder, so you can see that you get a ladder-like marking going on your on this line. If you are one of those and you are having those broken fragments and they overlap each other, they can be small, they can be large, they can be irregular. They indicate more problems, mainly towards your health and digestive systems. Now, interestingly, they are not only indicating your physical issues, but also indicating your psychological and mental health issues as well. So people who have these type of signs in their line of Mercury, they need to be extra cautious to have a good psychotherapy, good self-learning, good um, action, because the lines can change. So eating well, supporting their mental health, and they can come out of it, and then the lines can change. Okay, if you got a very uneven line of Mercury, and that is like, as you would see, that it will be your health conditions will be uneven as well. So that's very interesting finding. Now, one of the element what people have mentioned many times is like a chain. So here you can see just like a chain. If you have a those chain line, it's not very common, but if it is present, they have like a loops. They are bounding together, holding each other, and uh, if it's a present in a significant portion of the length, then it could happen with your health, both mental and physical, in loops, so that you are better one day, you are not great on the other day, and so on. Now it's very interesting. Some people have don't have this straight line, and they got a wavy line, so it waves. Now wavy line is quite rare, but if it is present, it shows some issues which are like bad habits, some genetic predispositions, some liver pathologies. These patients also have some conditions like alcoholic liver disease or cirrhosis. So they are quite interesting because they indicate underlying liver pathologies. So it's quite interesting to see that type of anomaly. Now, very few points about the some of the defects. Now, the defects can be like dots. I have shown here, just like a dot. And whenever you got a dot is a sign of a acute attack. So some serious illness, but people overlap it and they come out of it. They generally don't indicate of a chronic problems, but like somebody got a small acute attack of appendicitis or something, and they come out of it. Then we can also see something what we call crossbars. Now, crossbars is quite interesting to see because they 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 indicate specific illnesses at that time period. They can be intense, they can be serious, but if these crossbar becomes so strong that in depth and thickness it's more than the line of Mercury, that could indicate a very serious consequence. Okay, now islands are generally in the lines are actually indicating about energy circulation. So they can be long, they can be small, and if they have a large islands, then you can have this disease, chronic condition for years, and a smaller ones can indicate a very specific short illness and short issue with your health. Now, interestingly, they can present at various ages, so you can identify what is the age of it. So, likewise, breaks, if there is a sudden break in a line of Mercury, large or small, they can indicate a specific event of a illness. It could be if they are not repaired, then they can be serious as well. Usually they are repaired by like a ladder-like or overlapping lines. Now stars, now stars appearing on the line of Mercury is is variable output. Uh, if they are found on the mount, just like here, where the termination of the line is happening, they can have a show a brilliant outcome to the individual carrier. Um, but so the star's presence there can be quite interesting, but if they are present like on a junction with the headline, that can be tricky because sometimes these people are predisposed to have a very good health outcomes, mental health outcomes, but sometimes they can be so genius that they can also go towards being insane as well. So it has a both pros and cons. Having said that, lines must be interpreted with the background other lines and the background mounts and shapes of the fingers. So, as I always say, you can change your lines, you need to work hard, you need to practice, and if you have any of these defects, you can overcome it by your own attitude and hard working. Thank you very much and follow for more. Thank you.